Vibe Tribe, it's me, Lizzie Allan, and we are raising the consciousness of the planet and having a laugh while we do it. This is a kind of noodling. I will bring an idea forward and I will riff on that idea and we will try to pull it back down. Now, everything I do in this space is about raising the consciousness. And what I mean by that is staying in the energy of love, peace, solution, abundance, love, generosity, gratitude, and all the things that make life worthwhile. I'm here with my beaver. I'm also in England. I flew here last night. I live in Canada normally. And I'm going to pull a card just to get things rolling. I'm going to do a small reading from this Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes. Well worth reading. And also I've got Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. Now this is just readings from A New Earth. Again, mighty helpful for where we're going. So, what's this? Manifestation, right? It's interesting that this is a green card. Now, manifestation of, well, let's just say of a new earth, right? Have you heard of this thing called, not this thing called, but the earth is splitting in two, or the world is splitting in two. Now, it's not a literal split, it's a metaphorical coming apart where more than ever there'll be a pronunciation, a pronounced higher vibrational, higher consciousness, inner world, goodness stuff happening on one, and then the other will be sort of slipping into the ego and the fear and the kind of need I say more? Need I say more? Okay, so you excuse the hair, excuse the tiredness, let's move forward. This card says, and this is from the Affirmator decks, absolutely brilliant, these cards. If you could have anything you wanted, what would it be? Get specific and get greedy. You are holding a magic wand and you can conjure up anything. Could it be that when you declare your wishes out loud, you're actually casting a spell for your dreams to come true? Or is it just that in a very practical sense, the more people you speak with about your desires, the more folks there are who know what you want and might have the means to help you make them happen? Either way, stop waiting and start manifesting, but don't use that word if you don't want to. Okay. So interestingly, I've been thinking about this idea of abundance. God, you know what's happening here? This idea of abundance. Now, when we're talking about abundance in terms of a higher consciousness, we're thinking more things to be abundant around good food on the table, good company, laughter, joy, beautiful experiences, nature, coming together, having safe, comfortable, beautiful spaces to come together and live and enjoy the life. Without going on about what's going on out there, we are in unprecedented times, meaning, what the fuck is going on? Don't want to go on about that though. Okay, so this thing called you, bear with me. If you are here because you enjoy to be in joy. And that is one of the main riches of this world. Right. Here is an affirmation. Today I recognize the abundance of life. I animate everything in my experience with this idea. I remember only the good. I expect only the good. This is all I experience. I give thanks that this good is flowing in ever increasing volume. I say to my mind, there is enough good to go around. I do not withhold that good from myself or others, but proclaim that spiritual substance is forever flowing to each and to all in daily supply. Now, I think this is an incredibly important point. What we focus on will persist. We have been, for a very long time now, living in a mass space of fear. There has been fear pumped into every aspect of the human experience, whether it's fearful around money, fearful around education, fearful around competition. Am I gonna get where I need to go? Is everything gonna be all right? And what we're now coming to understand as a collective, and when I say us as a collective, I'm talking about you and me and anyone who's been working on their inner healing, undoing generational patterns, generational trauma, letting that stuff go and moving into a more healed space where we're much more conscious about our energetic impact, our energetic influence on those around us and on the planet as a whole. We're taking responsibility for our energy in the world, and collectively that's having a massive that's creating a massive shift. That's where one lot of us will shift much quicker and together into a new experience of a new earth, as Eckhart Tolle calls it. So that we have to, we don't have to do anything. You can do exactly what you want. The fear is incredibly intoxicating, and it's kind of, the fear is an experience, right? So we watch horror films and we go down the thriller route and we watch disasters and stuff. But then there's the really fearful things you see on the news, which is all pulling, it's seducing you into its energy. And here's the thing about fear. Fear disables people. It disables them. It cuts them off from their source, which means that fear is actually the only thing that you should be afraid of, which is a oxymoron or a paradox, isn't it? It's like fear is the only thing you need to be afraid of. So it's not the thing that's making you fearful, it's the fear itself that causes the damage. Or not damage isn't the right word, the disconnect, right? So if you imagine that you're a channel for love, light, joy, peace and everything like that, and if you get caught up in fear and you start letting your mind ramp up with that fearful thinking, if you do that, you block yourself off from the natural intuition that will guide you into more loving, more abundant, more peaceful experiences here on earth, no matter what's happening outside of you. So that's the job of the conscious. That's the job to, no matter what that fear is trying to pull you into, going on the watching the news and flicking through all the stuff and going, is this really happening? It is happening, but it's not happening. So it is and it isn't. So don't allow that fear, those stories, those terrifying stories to come into your space and grip you with fear. Because what happens when you're in fear? You are trapped. You are manipulated. You are small. You are easy to corral. And we want to be in a space of connectivity and divine abundance, divine expression. And what's happening is more and more we're coming to understand that what is abundance is actually inside of us. It's the greater experience of peace and joy and love and togetherness. So in that sense, if you're a conscious being and you're alive and aware and awake at this time, right now, watching this, you have the ability to serve the world with your goodness. And it might be that you have to break away from some old, outmoded, conditioned ways of being to come into more of a adventurous, dynamic, intuitively led adventurous, but out there, right? So it might be that you're kind of stuck in a loop where you're at and you're thinking, no, this doesn't feel right. Feel into what does feel right. Follow that, right? Follow your intuition. Let it guide you into greater pathways of peace and prosperity and togetherness. Because if you're joining in with us and you're coming with us on this love train or the peace train or whatever it is that we're doing, you're going to experience life from the inside out. Because it is an inside job. So another half of the population, or not half, but other souls, other people, are less open and aware and awake and might just double down on greed, capitalism, fear, amassing, you know, that kind of thing. And that's neither here nor there. That's got nothing to do with us, if you will. That's like, it's like, you know, it's happening on another frequency, on another radio station. So think of yourself as a radio station. If you're watching this, you're high vibing. You're like, no, this is interesting. We're gonna go with this and see where it takes us. So there are no real answers other than to just keep going with your spiritual awareness. What do you feed yourself with? Are you doing meditations? Are you praying? And when we pray, always in the affirmative. This is an affirmative prayer. You see, this is an absolute affirmation which keeps you aligned with goodness. It says, today I recognize the abundance of life. So today I choose to focus on the abundance of life, the birds, the trees, the other people, the food that I have, the shelter that I have. I remember only the good. Oh, it says, I animate everything in my experience with this idea. Now, thought is creative, right? So every thought that you are giving your energy to is creative. So I animate everything in my experience with this idea. So here I have my lovely friend, my beaver, named my beaver for a reason. I remember only the good. I accept only the good. I expect only the good. I remember only the good. Now, the fear, as I was saying, is incredibly intoxicating. It is like an addiction. And even I myself have fallen prey to it. But it's in the recognition of, as soon as you can feel that fear, just tune in to how low it makes you, how powerless it makes you, and then choose again. What brings me back up into my joy? Shift the conversation into affirmative action. How can I serve? How can I make another person or another place more beautiful and grounded? How can I remind others of their place in this world and their power in this world? We are on a beautiful journey and we have got so much to offer, and this is our time. This is our time to come into our power. Now, let's read a little bit from the Eckhart Tolle, Oneness with All Life. It's very helpful because in the present moment, according to our good man and according to many, many wise people, our power is in the present moment. It isn't in the movie mind making, right? Because we create pictures in our mind and we are creating collectively. So the fear-based collective is creating the very thing it's afraid of. That's why fear itself is the thing to be moved to one side, because we are creating. So as you and me know, we hold our joy and we hold our peace and we hold our abundance, and then we create that. You see, you'll just get more of that reflected back into your world, because the world actually isn't out there, it's in here. Okay, I love this. And this is kind of, let's see, this is kind of where I'm going to end it with this, okay, this reading, because I've been noodling this idea for a while now. So your life has an inner purpose and an outer purpose. Inner purpose concerns being and is primary. Outer purpose concerns doing and is secondary. The true or primary purpose of your life cannot be found on the outer level. It does not concern what you do, but what you are. That is to say, your state of consciousness. Action, although necessary, is only a secondary factor in manifesting our external reality. No matter how active we are, how much effort we make, our state of consciousness creates our world. And if there is no change on that inner level, no amount of action will make any difference. We would only recreate modified versions of the same world again and again. A world that is an external reflection of the ego. I think that says it all. So I will leave you with that, and I will be coming back again and again to noodle these ideas and keep you together. We are a vibe tribe. We are vibing high. Please subscribe, like, and share with any of your friends who would resonate with this material, and carry on helping, because we are doing this. I love you, I love you, I love you. I'm out.